Welcome to the Crypto Campfire. They like hashtags because they look like waffles. Mitch and the Professor. Featuring special guest, Pandora.
Hey guys, we're back with another episode of the Crypto Campfire podcast. This is the Professor.
And Mitch.
Today we've got Pandora with us. She's a crypto Twitter influencer. Her primary objective right now is to try and spread global adoption of crypto. Pandora, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know kind of what you're doing in the crypto space.
Hi, yes, it's Pandora, and many of you have known that I have been in the crypto Twitter atmosphere for quite a bit, and what I like to do is help promote projects that I believe in, such as the Halo project. You guys should look into that. I think you might have, I told you guys about it, though, but it's a very good project. And then there are others like Travela. I mean, you know, you use your crypto to travel and book your flights. I mean, it's coming. The adoption is coming, and we can just help boost it along, you know?
Absolutely. It's definitely important for us to do everything we can to try and spread that adoption. There's so many people that don't know about crypto yet. So it's awesome to see you out there doing that.
It really is, especially, you know, from a lady standpoint. I mean, you're representing women in crypto, and that's pretty amazing. I mean, it never given enough credit as far as I'm concerned, and your efforts are well surpassed a lot of that of people that I've known in the past. So kudos.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just another way to spread the adoption. Yeah, being female. I mean, we shop, we spend money, and we can tell other women about it. And they're like, oh, you know, and I heard you guys talk about on your last episode about people know about Bitcoin, but they don't understand that there's cryptocurrencies, that there's so many more that are, you know, being used and have very good projects.
Right. They don't understand the purpose of what these other tokens or currencies are.
Right, that's true. That's why we have to plant the seeds so that, you know, they'll understand it once it becomes more adopted by the public, and you know, mass adoption. That's key. You know, we're kind of like anarchists. You know, we want to break away from the government. I think, in a sense, because the dollar is fading away. It's backed by nothing, basically. They just keep printing. So eventually there's going to be a collapse. And when the collapse occurs, we're going to need a currency to be able to buy bread, you know, or basic items.
We're going to need something. Yeah, a lot of people talk about gold and silver and things like that as long-term reserves, but something that they fail to think about is that just to say an apocalypse scenario, what the hell good is gold to somebody? You know, we're not, at least at the very beginning of a situation like that, you know, you can't do anything with gold that's extremely useful. I mean, with exceptions, but
yeah,
it's not like something that you need to survive.
Right, but I mean, people in gold, think about that. People that are into gold, are they physically holding gold bars? No. Are they physically holding gold coins? Not really. So what's the difference between the gold and what we're holding?
Well, yeah, if you're talking, you know, gold investments and stuff like that, I'm referring to people that are actually physically collecting, you know, the metals, and because they think that they can physically trade them off, you know, in an apocalyptic scenario or things like that. And
I mean, which is true. I mean, that could very well be possible that, you know, they trade, you know, because we used to trade with gold a long time ago, and silver and stuff. So, I mean, anything's possible. But I mean, if the apocalypse were to occur, we wouldn't have electricity, so we wouldn't have our cryptocurrency anyway. We wouldn't have Bitcoin, you know, because everything would be shut down.
Well, I mean, that sort of depends on what type of apocalypse you're talking also.
You're right. An EMP, for instance, being hit over the United States, we would lose unless you're protected. I mean, you can protect your electronics, but unless you're protected, then you have everything electronic will not work.
The nice thing, though, is there's different types of technologies out there for transferring Bitcoin. Like people have transferred Bitcoin over ham radio. People have transferred
cool.
Bitcoin over satellite, things like that.
Oh, really? Ham radio?
Yeah, for real. So it's,
Cool.
these are all things that we
didn't
can run on, small types of electricity generators. I mean, heck, you can take an alternator out of a car and you can spin it and you're generating electricity. So,
Yeah.
I mean, an EMP can't kill an alternator. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to have a way to transfer digital currencies in pretty much any event that we can think of, with exceptions. I mean, obviously there's things that can happen that can prevent even communications between people. And if you can't even talk to somebody, how are you going to send anybody money, regardless of what form it's in? But it's just that thing of, Bitcoin is something that can be universally accepted and doesn't have to be physically exchanged. And as long as there's a way to make that transfer in the future, it can help us get out of a lot of sticky scenarios. And I think as technology improves, our ability to withstand these kind of things that we're worrying about are going to increase significantly to where they're maybe not really that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like Venezuela, they, how what their government and all that's going on down there, they could be using cryptocurrency to help, rebuild their economy.
Yeah, and then they tried to. Venezuela launched a cryptocurrency last year, or was it the year? It was either the very end of 2017 or early in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
There was, there was a whole bunch of buzz in the news about Venezuela launching a cryptocurrency, and of course there was two sides of the story, and there was always the people that it was a scam and it's a money grab by the government trying to trying to grab as much money as they can. And then of course there's a side of, well, the government's trying to do something about this, and those aligned right along with the people who aligned with either the government or the people. And I'm not versed enough on the situation to take any side, but they at least tried. I don't know whether it was with honest effort or not, but it's being used. And I've seen people on crypto Twitter and talked to people on crypto Twitter from Venezuela that use crypto. So it's nice to see real life situations where it's being used in places where you can't necessarily operate normally because of situations like that.
Now we just got to get India on board. They keep talking about banning cryptocurrencies, and it's starting to get ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of a pattern with the Indian government and Korea and China. You kind of see these things a lot with emerging technologies, and not even specifically crypto. So it's not surprising. I feel like as time goes on, it won't take very long for them to shift that. But just with any type of legislative process, it's a nightmare.
Now, isn't Dash a project that's supposed to help put crypto more easily into the hands of the average person?
Yeah, I believe that's the primary function of theirs.
With the phone, they're the ones with the phones, right?
Yes.
And the crypto.
Pandora, do you know much about Dash?
No, I don't. I've never really looked into Dash.
I've heard about it briefly, and I've kind of looked at it a little bit. I know they were doing the phones, and I know they're kind of focused on the third world and stuff like that. Right. But I don't really know a whole lot of details on their actual operation or what they're really getting into.
I'll have to dig into that a little bit more.
I like Telcoin. Have you guys?
I love Telcoin.
Yeah, Telcoin has a great thing going. They want to get rid of like Western unions and things like that, and send crypto through your phone through multimedia message, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a sleeping giant.
Yeah. I thought that in February of 2018 is when I first bought my Telcoins. And I've been holding them ever since. They haven't changed much. In fact, I think they're down a little bit. But the project they've got some really cool stuff. And when I first saw about it or heard about it, then it seemed like one of very few companies that had even looked at the phone side of things from, not from a cell phone standpoint, like most of these projects, but from just a standard communication side of things. So I think they have kind of a unique concept, and I've not seen anybody else doing anything either the same or as well as they are. So I think Sleeping Giant's accurate.
Now that's on the crypto side, right? That's on the crypto side, but doesn't Cash App exist on the non-crypto side? Isn't that the same kind of concept? Or no?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess so. I love Cash App. Yeah.
Yeah, Cash came out before, they've been out for a while before they even did anything with Bitcoin. They were a division of Square. Jack Dorsey runs it, and he started getting into Bitcoin, and that was that first time when he first announced that Square was going to be facilitating Bitcoin purchases was really cool. So to see a mainstream company like that, especially one that has been historically known to be relatively conservative, not in a political way, but just strictly conservative with things they adopt and trying not to make too many waves and make bad decisions. But they kind of took on the risk of allowing Bitcoin transactions, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think about the Binance hack?
I was hoping this would come up.
It was going to come up because I was going to bring it up if nobody else did. So I think it's a really amazing thing. It sounds crazy to say. The hack itself, that's shit. It's awful. I mean, that's massive. 7,000 Bitcoins, $42 million. That's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy. But like we were just talking on Twitter just a few minutes ago, me and Mitch and El Jaboom were just kind of mentioning things about how it really brought everybody together. On the last episode, we talked about factions and crypto Twitter and things like that. And I mean, obviously this didn't fix anything, but it showed that we can be a cohesive community and stick together when things get hard.
Yeah, like Justin Sun wanting to offer 7,000 Bitcoin to give back.
Exactly. And he knew full well that Binance had it covered, but it's just the point. It's, I will do this if you need it. And it shows the community that, he will put his money where his mouth is, and we can stick together and we can take care of everybody. And that even if the Seifu fund didn't exist, everything would be all right, because there's a shit ton of money in this industry. And a lot of it's handled by bad players, but a lot of it is handled by good players. And that's important. So it was a good show of faith. It was an unfortunate event, but it was a good bit of symbolism, if you will.
Okay, how about, here's a conspiracy theory. How about CZ is the perpetrator?
Ah! Now we're way into conspiracy theory.
Right? Yeah, no, I seen that today. I ain't buying that.
Yeah. I mean, I know from like a technical standpoint as possible, but and I know that everybody that believes something like this would just tell me that it was all for show, but he's done so much for the community and so much to drive everything in the crypto space that, people will surprise you, and stranger shit has happened. And maybe I'm being naive in this assessment, but I don't feel like CZ is that kind of guy. And
yeah, I think he's a great guy. He's got a great soul. I've seen a lot of things he's done over the past 2 years, and I think he's got a good thing going. And it was a joke basically, but it's going to happen. Hacks are going to happen. It's just, I think it's inevitable. I seen a post, I think it was from Pomp, saying, banks get robbed, and, it's just the way things go.
That's right.
It happens. And, it's fun to joke about that stuff, though. It gives you some comic relief in a shitty situation. But the sad part is that there are people out there that believe it. And,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand why CZ has these enemies on Twitter. I mean, I know it's because they're 15-year-olds in their mom's basement that don't get it. But
yeah, and they bought B&B at the top.
Right. Yeah, that's it. The people are mad or they're jealous of him or whatever. But you see him out there on the front lines on Twitter trying to respond to support requests. Like what other CEO does that? And then in this very same thread, somebody will turn around and chew his ass about something. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, like yesterday, some guy's sitting there tweeting about how because their exchange went down, he lost all his funds and now he can't pay his. I responded and I'm like,
I saw your response.
Binance's fault that you can't pay your bills? Are you kidding me?
Right, it's not his fault. I mean, I get it.
Scammers and fools and just people who want a handout. Yeah,
it's sad. The state of people sometimes saddens me. Let's just all get along and have a good time. Why do we have to be like that? But it is what it is, I guess. The world is what it is.
There's a lot of trolls on Twitter, especially crypto Twitter, and they're there lurking and just waiting for their opportunity to lash out.
Oh yeah, it's their it's that they get the adrenaline from it.
Because they
Yes.
have nothing else
Well,
better to do.
I guess, yeah. I don't have time to sit there and complain on Twitter.
Right.
Right.
Uh,
So do we have an update on the calendars? What's going on? What do we
yeah,
do?
so we're working on a couple things on that right now. We've got to get the design finished up, but the big hang up is trying to find the best way to handle the finance side of it. If it doesn't take off and we only get a few, it's not a big deal. You know, it's not a big deal to buy some calendars and transfer the funds to a charity and that kind of stuff. But the thing is, we've had so much support that if it takes off and we start getting tons and tons of requests for this calendar, we're going to have to find a way to transfer a lot of money completely transparently. And I know obviously crypto, right?
Yeah.
Obviously Bitcoin, but there's an intermediary part of like to send them Bitcoin, then we have to have a charity willing to set up a Bitcoin wallet or work with somebody like BitPay to set up some sort of a payment processing thing that we can send them the money in Bitcoin. Or we have to find a nonprofit that can accept the funds in some way that's still transparent. And it's been kind of difficult trying to find and set up that arrangement. So
Yeah.
that said, if there's anybody listening that can help facilitate this, that would be amazing. But there's just a lot of little things that we're trying to get put together. I hope that once we have the design ready and we can publicize that, maybe we can get a little bit more response. And once people see kind of a tangible object that, you know, and see some of that progress, and then maybe we can start making some of those connections. But we haven't forgot about it. We're still making it happen. We just, it's just going to take us a little while. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, sometimes it's you know, the challenge of doing it the right way and having to do it through not for profit does make it challenging.
yeah, it's you know, I guess the problem is if we had somebody who'd be willing to pay right up front just to buy a stack of the calendars that we could distribute, it'd be a little simpler, because then we wouldn't have to like right now we'd have to give the money to the charity but keep a chunk out of it for paying for the calendars. But
What would be the price
it's
range
easier said than done.
that you're thinking? What's the price range that you're thinking that you need for someone to buy up like that, like you just mentioned?
You know, it really varies a lot. It depends. There's a lot of different providers out there. We've been looking at the print on demand ones because that's who I'm number one, is who I'm familiar with working with. But number two, we were trying to go for an application that would be scalable. You know, we can do it up on print on demand, and then no matter how many calendars we sell, there's no potential for loss of any sort. There's only potential for gain for the charities, which is the important part. We can sell as many as we need to, and production will automatically keep up, versus ordering a certain amount and having to make an educated guess of how many we could actually sell, because it's such a variable that we hadn't looked down that route. So I would imagine that if we buy these in bulk, we could probably get them in like the $3 to $5 per calendar mark, give or take. You know, I'm just guessing, but
Okay.
it probably wouldn't be much more than that.
Okay.
I mean, I'd pay $10 or $15 for one of those. Seriously, that's
Yeah, I mean, I think we can
so
easily sell them
cool.
for 15 plus for, you know, as far as a charity calendar goes. And the thing is, if we do the ones that I was initially looking at doing on the print on demand, they're larger format wall calendars. I mean, they're not huge. They're just a little bit bigger than a normal calendar, but they're printed on real nice stock, and they've got a bigger cover. The cover is about twice as big as a normal calendar.
Yeah,
And that really leaves a lot of room for Crypto Man's art to shine, so we can get all those community members on the front. But really the main thing is just trying to do what is most cost effective so we can make the most money as possible for the charities.
right. Yeah,
Charity, rather.
that
Now,
sounds great.
Pandora, weren't you talking with a gentleman that works as a publisher and said that he would take care of promote or
David
providing the-
Guckstein?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he said he would help with resources. I didn't take that to mean that he'd be willing to provide the funds up front. I kind of interpreted that differently, but I'll reach out to him. Maybe he would be willing to help on that front.
Okay, cool.
And I guess we should probably, for those anybody who's listening that doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, this is a calendar that kind of got started by Pandora and David a few weeks ago on Twitter, just kind of being silly, and it kind of evolved into a charity fund sort of thing. We're going to produce these calendars with a bunch of people from crypto Twitter featured in the calendars, and all the proceeds are going to go to charity for autism. So just a real quick background on what we're talking about.
Yeah, it was sort of like a fun little thing that turned into so many people, you know, wanting to support and be a part of it. It was really great.
Yeah, it's such a crazy thing. It kind of goes right into coming together as a community. You know, it's a little thing, it's little stuff, but all those little things add up. So it's really cool to see.
Yes, yes, indeed.
So one thing that we've found has been kind of fun to ask is what's your favorite sleeper token? What's that coin that you really love, but you don't want to talk about?
Well, like I said before, I think TEL coin is my sleeping giant. I like Tron, of course, and Bitcoin. Really, those are my big three for right now. You know, until maybe something else better will come along. You never know.
There's going to be all kinds of new stuff. I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us.
Yeah, I think my husband mentioned that Bitcoin will be surpassed by another coin. It will be better, and it would be used, I guess, more. I don't know. That's his theory.
That's a real common theory, and
sounds
it's
like
not without merit. Yeah, sounds like Litecoin.
I liked Litecoin, except for Charlie Lee selling at the top. That sort of disappointed me. Then, you know, then he was promoting something different, and it was just odd. I don't know. Are y'all big Litecoin fans?
A little
Mitch
bit.
is. But no, I think I just like Litecoin for its technology. I feel like it's got some advantages as far as transfer speeds go, but I don't necessarily see it overtaking Bitcoin, at least not anytime soon. It could. It has the potential as far as, from a functionality side. So, but I fully agree with your husband that I think one of these days we'll see something, and whether that's just a fork of Bitcoin, that's been improved or something like, I don't think Bitcoin Cash is going to start the flippening by any stretch of the imagination, but something, something along those lines, maybe an improved fork of Bitcoin of some sort. Or maybe it's something that comes totally out of left field. So that's the thing with technology, is you have a lot of the stuff that it looks like it's so dominant, like Netscape, for example. It's like, well, nothing will ever take this down because it's the best. And then something new comes along and it does things in a totally different way than we expected or even thought about at the time, and surprises you, like Chrome or Firefox. But we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. Well, I've enjoyed it on, and until next time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Pandora. It was nice talking to you, so we'll definitely have to have you on again.
All right. Thank y'all. Good night.
Yeah, you have a good night.
All right, guys. Big thanks to Pandora for coming onto the show tonight. It's always an awesome time talking with her. She's always got some cool insights and some fun conversation to have. It's just awesome.
It is. She's a lot of fun, real stand-up lady. I really like her stance in crypto, and I like her goals.
Absolutely. She's always a blast.
So, hey, Professor, don't we get another guest coming on this week?
Yeah, but I don't know if we should say who it is. Should we say who it is? Hold on.
Oh, man.
But he kind of dropped it on Twitter a little bit already, but
did he make it? I didn't notice.
Yeah, he did. He did. But it wasn't very public. It was kind of in a comment, but
that's Swamp Dweller.
It's out there. Maybe we should just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Come on.
All right. Gator Bitcoin's coming on tomorrow.
Woo-hoo.
We got to have Gator on here. We got to get going on the rap battle stuff and have a good chat with him on that and get some of his fantastic financial insight. And he doesn't know this yet, but he's going to be doing a live performance for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one.
I think that we need to pick a song for him to cover as part of this. So you and I will talk about this a little later, but I've got some ideas. I think we're going to assign the song.
Yeah.
And give him a challenge. I know you can handle it.
Oh, huh. I was listening to some old stuff tonight on the way home. I think I got a good one to throw at you too. So
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'll hear it. Shoot me that later.
I will.
Speaking of guests, we have something absolutely incredible coming up soon.
Really?
And I can't really tell you yet.
Oh,
you don't even know yet, Mitch. But I just got the message while we were recording this podcast. So
did you really?
I'm really excited about this one. And this person is let's just say that the stories, I can't even imagine just the stories that this person can tell us. And I'm so excited to just
that really narrows it down.
Does it? You mean, Are you telling me that crypto Twitter is full of all kinds of crazy stories?
You think?
It is. But just you guys wait. Just you wait. I better quit talking about it or I'll spill the beans too early.
Right.
I'm too excited.
Right? Well, speaking about Friday, or speaking about raps and speaking about guests, guys, if you haven't tuned into the crypto rap battles, you got to check them out, man. It's a blast. I swear it's grown. We've been doing this about 4 weeks now, and it's just grown exponentially. There's people left and right. It's so crazy to keep up with the tweets and the rhymes and the raps getting spit out. It's insane. It's so much fun. The energy is so positive. I don't care how bad your day was. I don't care how bad your week was. You tune into these rap battles, and by the end of the time, you're gonna be on cloud 9, man. I promise you.
It's such a great time. It's like the greatest end of the week that there can be, because okay, that's not true. If Friday Bitcoin was 20 grand,
well,
then we'd be happy. But so nice to just at the end of the week take an hour or 2 hours and just release. It's a great distressor. It's amazing. If you don't rap, it doesn't matter because you're rapping with your thumbs. So I don't want to hear any excuses. Get your ass in the dang rap battles.
Right, exactly.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell magical internet animals.
Yeah,
tell magical internet food. Shout out to the sandwich Bitcoin guy because I was followed by a sandwich on Twitter the other day. And
nice.
So how does it get better than that?
Ham or salami?
Oh, crap.
I don't think it's a club. It might have been a club.
I'm pretty sure he just mentioned that he was engaging in a adult-oriented act, and that's all his Twitter account said. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know if it was ham or pastrami or what, but he's an crypto sandwich, so I guess whatever.
Okay.
So now that you have to come rap. So hopefully we have a rapping sandwich on Friday, but at the very least we're gonna have Gator.
A rapping sandwich. I love it. Yeah, looking forward to talking to Gator this week. Oh my God, that's going to be a riot. It absolutely is.
It's tomorrow. We got Gator coming up tomorrow for you guys. So
nice. And you mentioned about Bitcoin being 20 grand. Somebody would still bitch because it wasn't 21,000.
Oh yeah,
just saying.
And the sad part is though, people, it could be like $1 million and there'd be somebody bitching, but everybody, there's people that are buying at the top every time, and so they're bitching because they bought at the top, but that's okay. Those are new people, and when they buy at the top, they learn something, and
that's how they learn. Exactly.
They may not come back for a while. All the people that bought at the top of January 2018 and Bitcoin's top in November of 2017, a lot of those people disappeared. You can tell by looking at the chart, but they're coming back.
We made it through it, buddy.
We made it. Yes, we've been in this shit now. I can't say the long haul because there's been people in this way longer than us. But
sure,
we've been through a lot, and I'm sure that a lot of us have bought. I bought a little bit of stuff towards the top. XRP, I bought a little XRP at the top at like $3. I was dead certain we were going to $10, but it was only like a couple $100 worth. But shit happens. But anyway, so let's set the goal. Bitcoin 20,000 by Friday. You heard it here first. Crypto Campfire for the win.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I can promise you the Campfire is gonna happen, and I can definitely promise you the rap battles are gonna happen. But Bitcoin, not so sure on 20 grand.
I'm not making promises, but if it happens, you heard it here first. I don't care what anybody says. All right. On that note, we'll let you guys go. We're going to let 20,000 Bitcoin happen in silence. Enjoy the podcast. Stay tuned for Gator and the super special guest coming up. And we got all kinds of cool stuff coming at you after that. So stay tuned, guys.
Have a great week, peeps. Peace.